Hello, and welcome to Conscious Curiosities, where we unlock the wisdom of the universe which lies within us. I'm Maria Luz, your host, an astrologer, hypnotist, and psychic medium. Today, I'm going to be talking about the solar eclipse, which is a new moon in Aquarius on Tuesday, February 17th. Now, I've been talking about Aquarius and Uranus energy for a little while now, and it's also highlighted in this eclipse on Tuesday because Uranus is the modern day ruler of Aquarius, and Uranus is making a square aspect, which is a tense aspect to both the sun and the moon, which are together in Aquarius. Additionally, there is an added intensity because just a few days prior, Saturn would have moved into the sign of Aries. So the now both Neptune and Saturn are in the first sign of the zodiac in this warrior archetype of Aries. And on the 20th, they will make this conjunction. So they'll be together at the exact same degree of the zodiac. And by some estimates, that hasn't happened in about 5,000 years. So it probably has been in the energy already. I know for a lot of psychically sensitive people like myself, we have been feeling this energy already. And what this square of Uranus, who's sitting there ruling over this eclipse, what this energy brings is uh, this idea that we we have to come out as ourselves. And I have talked about this, like as I mentioned, and I'm trying to do this more and more. I have to a great extent as I really transformed who I thought I was, who I was to a lot of other people and institutions. Um, However, this is the first video podcast I've made in quite some time. And the reason is seems rather superficial and trivial, but for me, a Leo sun, it felt rather painful and somewhat traumatic, I will say. And what happened is that I I had a lot of my hair fall out. I've always had really long hair. And last spring, as I was going through another, I guess, energy adjustment with spirit and how I could channel information more directly and maybe more broadly, my physical self could not keep up with that adjustment, and my hair on my crown chakra just all fell out. And so you if you notice the difference in my pictures on my previous Substack or LinkedIn, I had long hair, and then all of a sudden it was short. And it's because, yeah, I lost that hair on my crown. So I just was tired of seeing that in my shower drain. So I just had, I had a buzz cut. And so the other part is that there's another chakra that I learned about when this all happened, and it's on the towards the base of your skull, and it's called the medulla oblongata. And I promise I'm going to be done talking about myself in a second, but that's what Leos do, right? We have to lead by example, and not because we tell you, but because you see the light in us and you want to follow that. So anyway, I'm explaining this in case anybody else happens to go through this and feels alone or scared. So this lower chakra on your skull is the medulla oblongata, and my hair also fell out there. It still hasn't grown back, whereas I have adjusted with the crown chakra. I'm still working on being able to be grounded, and that is why that medulla oblongata has not grown back yet, because there that energy just goes out of me. It's got to ground somewhere, so it just exits there instead of just being able to ground through my body um, and through my chakra system. And I am working on that. Okay, long story, but this is relevant because Uranus, as I mentioned, I think last week, maybe it was in my written Substack, but Uranus is also an Aquarius. Are also related to trauma, especially where our people, so our, say, our family of origin or our friend group or our employer or our government, where our people have traumatized us. Um, and perhaps we thought they were keeping us safe, um, but it was damaging. Okay, so now we have this solar solar eclipse happening, and we are meant to come out and talk about where we've had this trauma or pain from conditioning. And for a lot of us, it's very complicated because it's multi-layered conditioning of our culture, our family, or in my case, multiple cultures, because I had a white half of my family and I had a Filipino half and then the mixed half. And many people are equally or more complicated and have been persecuted for who they identify with. And so Uranus is asking us to find the safe people, find our real people, which are not necessarily the same as those who you've identified with up until this point. So, but it is in speaking and being vulnerable and really brave, honestly, that you will find those other people. You'll attract those other people. You will feel at home and comfortable with people. And I keep saying people because that is also very much about the Aquarius energy. And it is how we create change, which is also Aquarius, Uranus. It is becoming liberated from oppression. So lots of big energies with this eclipse, and I I hope you can find your safe people or pets even or plants. I also love to especially as I'm learning how to ground more, just find myself some safe big old trees. Okay, I will leave you with that. And also, I should mention that I will put in the show notes the few events that I have coming up in the next week. It seems to be particularly busy, and I'm hoping I can meet some of you at the in-person events. There is one on Saturday, the anniversary of West Coast Willow in West Seattle, where I do in-person readings. I'll be doing some free readings there from 12 to 2 on Saturday, and there's lots of other free food and things. And then on Sunday, February 15th, I will be giving a workshop, and that is on your connection to the elements within us and how we can use our composition of air, earth, fire, and water to really live more easefully. And we can all use that right now. And then on next Tuesday, the actual day of the eclipse, I will be doing an event at Saha Health in Kirkland. And that is an astrology and acupuncture event. And it's something new, a new collaboration and a way of offering people some insights and ability to move energy that may be stuck through their system. And that's also available on Thursday, February 19th. All right. Have a good week. Be safe. I love you. Bye.